To gain the ability to read someone's mind effortlessly, mastering 3 crucial techniques is essential. These methods enable one to discern and grasp what others are pondering. Let's delve into a Buddhist tale that illustrates these techniques. Long ago, in a small village, 2 brothers lived. The elder brother was blind, spending most of his time at home, while the younger toiled as a farmer. However, their farm faced a persistent problem: animals constantly ravaged their fields. Troubled by this, the younger brother devised a plan. He thought, why not enlist my blind brother's help? His presence alone might scare away the animals. So, he built a small hut in the field and stationed his elder brother there. He instructed him, "Brother, if you hear any animal sounds, just shout. Your voice will scare them away, safeguarding our crops." Agreeing to this plan, the blind brother dutifully sat in the field. Whenever he heard the rustle of animals, he shouted, frightening them off. This routine continued for many days until an unexpected incident occurred. One day, a deer dashed through their field, breaking a fence in its haste. Soon after, a king in pursuit of the deer arrived at the scene. Curious, he approached the blind brother and asked, "Have you seen a deer pass through here?" The blind brother replied respectfully, "Your Majesty, I am blind. How could I have seen a deer? However, I can tell you this: the creature that disturbed my field is not worth your pursuit. You would be wasting your time." The king was astonished by this response and questioned him further. "How can you know this?" he asked, bewildered by the blind man's assertion about the deer's value. The blind brother calmly explained, "Your Majesty, the animal you are chasing is not a deer but a pregnant doe. It's uncommon for kings to hunt pregnant animals, as it serves no purpose. Trust my words, she is not worth pursuing." Intrigued and somewhat skeptical, the king decided to verify this claim. He commanded his commander, "Bring me that animal alive. I must confirm if it is indeed a pregnant doe." The commander obeyed and returned later, confirming the blind brother's words. Impressed and still puzzled, the king sought more answers. He summoned the blind brother and said, "I do not know if you are truly blind, but I must ask you something. Will you answer me truthfully?" The blind brother replied with humility, "Your Majesty, ask whatever you wish, and I will answer truthfully." The king, intrigued by the blind man's insight, then asked a personal question. "I want to know if my wife is faithful to me," he said, revealing his inner doubts. The blind brother, taken aback by this unexpected question, responded with caution, "Your Majesty, such questions about a long-standing marriage raise concerns. Nevertheless, if you seek an answer, you must grant me a favor." Intrigued yet wary, the king asked, "What is it that you seek?" The blind brother replied calmly, "For you to leave me alone with your wife in a room." Initially shocked by the request, the king eventually agreed, albeit reluctantly. He instructed his commander to arrange for the blind brother and the queen to be left alone together. In the privacy of the room, the blind brother surprised the queen by stating, "I wish to touch you." Enraged and offended, the queen vehemently struck him with all her might. Managing to escape her fury, the blind brother promptly returned to the king and delivered his verdict. "Your Majesty, your wife is unfaithful," he declared, recounting the queen's violent reaction. Furious upon hearing this, the king confronted his queen, demanding the truth under the threat of execution for falsehood. Overwhelmed, the queen confessed, "Your Majesty, I am not faithful." Struck by the accuracy of the blind brother's discernment, the king approached him once more, eager for answers. "How did you know?" he asked, astounded. The blind brother replied sagely, "Your Majesty, I am blind by nature. Unable to see with my eyes, I read people through their actions. The mind has a language, and this language is expressed through a person's body language, gestures, and demeanor. By observing these, one can understand what lies within another's mind." The king, deeply intrigued, sought to learn these insights himself. Can I also understand others' thoughts? He asked. The blind brother reassured him, Certainly, Your Majesty. But first, you must calm your mind and bring it into the present moment. Only then can you observe and understand these subtle signals. He proceeded to explain 3 fundamental techniques to the king. Observing the eyes. The eyes reveal much about a person's thoughts. Their gaze, movements, and dilation of pupils can indicate interest, honesty, or deception. Reading facial expressions. The face acts as a mirror of the mind. Expressions like smiles, frowns, or raised eyebrows convey emotions and intentions. Interpreting body language. Gestures such as hand movements, posture, and overall body language provide clues about a person's feelings and attitudes. The blind brother recounted how he learned these skills from his teacher, Gautam Buddha, who taught him to perceive the world through these subtle cues. He shared anecdotes of how these techniques helped him discern people's intentions and emotions accurately. In conclusion, the blind brother emphasized that mastering these techniques required focus and presence of mind. By honing these skills, one could truly understand others' thoughts and emotions, bridging the gap between what is said and what is felt. As the story concludes, it underscores the power of perception and understanding in human interactions, rooted in mindfulness and keen observation. The king, enlightened by these teachings, gained not only insights into others but also a deeper understanding of himself and his surroundings. In essence, the tale serves as a timeless lesson on the importance of mindfulness, empathy, and the art of understanding beyond words, a skill crucial for anyone seeking to navigate the complexities of human relationships and communication.